everyone. I can't remember, our camera's over there today.
Oh, that's right. I'm like,
yeah, we're all messed up. We're all looking at the computer over here. Maybe we move a computer up over here.
Oh, audio sounds good.
Alright, so we're live today from Dice Tower West, Las Vegas. We're recording in a room, so there's not as much sound.
Yeah, you guys see the bar behind us? We got a bar with a sink.
Fancy.
It's like they knew who we were.
So fancy. Greg Dickson was not able to make it here with us today, which was...
He's working.
I know.
Like a noob.
I know. It's super sad.
Who takes their work to Vegas?
Well,
I mean, technically she does, but
yeah.
This isn't work. This is fun.
Well, sort of. But we wanted to talk a little bit about what was going on here. We arrived on Thursday night, right? Thursday?
No, Wednesday night. Late Wednesday night.
Late Wednesday night.
Which is why the days are all thrown off. I feel like it's already Sunday, but it's not even Saturday yet.
Yeah, not yet. And what we didn't get a chance to get our swag bags or anything like that yet, but we arrived and then we...
Yeah, Wednesday night. Yeah, definitely. Hey, it's Dan Jose's.
And we...
Why are you Why are you so upset? Because you have so much content creation to do? So do we, bro.
Maybe so much FOMO. Hey, Kabuki Kid. It's nice to see you guys here. So, we arrived on Thursday night, and we were able to go down in the convention and everything, and they messed up our room, which was kind of sad because I reserved our room in advance. Yeah, like as soon as I got the tickets, I reserved our room. I reserved our room. And then they gave us like a gigantic room with a tiny bed instead.
Yeah, so their explanation was we don't have king size beds, but we have a twin and then like an executive room. So we have like a bar. We've got this is on a separate 4-person table. We've got 5 end tables.
Here, but...
We've got a couch, a desk, the area for the entertainment center, and then the bed is a Murphy bed that folds up. So if we wanted to have like a small, I mean, we could literally have a giant King of Tokyo game in here with giant dice and be like, and it'd be fine.
Greg is actually working, so he was supposed to be here today, but he ended up where he had to do something instead, which really sucks. And then
yeah, because he's a grown up.
It was so last minute that we couldn't get like one extra person to fill this spot, which was super sad. I was like, oh no.
So I'm just gonna spread out.
Like we couldn't get another person. Yeah, the hotels were really I was really upset by that because especially getting it so far in advance. Like, that makes me not want to stay at this hotel again. I mean, it's always nice to stay at the hotel whenever you're at a convention because it's easier to drop stuff off and everything, but that was really upsetting.
Yeah, it's alright.
Well, it was really upsetting for me.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Oh, Daniel's Hayes is going to make do with us. Well, thank you. You're so nice.
Wow, poor Daniel. Poor Daniel. Shouldn't you be doing content creation, Daniel? You're so behind.
So, let's talk a little bit about what's been going on, though. So we got our super awesome program.
Don't forget when we want
and our swag.
Do you want to talk about swag first?
Okay, let's talk about swag first.
All right, so we did show up. Of course, we got to get the Dice Tower West bag. So fancy. Hello. So that's just the basic bag, to hold the stuff. It's like a bag you'd get for a grocery store, but they came with the cool stuff in it. Like they came with games, which is nice that you don't always get that at board game conventions. I keep looking over there. So it came with Bear Valley from Stronghold.
Right.
So let's take a look at this one. It's kind of an exploration game where you're going to explore and try to get through this valley, avoid the bears, get to the campsite first before you get eaten by bears. So I'm actually pro-bear, so I actually kind of hope people do get eaten by bears because traffic is horrible. So less people, less traffic. And then we got One Night Revolution, which I'm pretty pumped about.
I think I've played that game before.
So yeah. I know that typically we haven't liked a whole bunch of the one night games, but I really enjoy Revolution. It was in my top 3 whenever we talked about social deduction games because it's one of the ones we've owned the longest, and I really have loved the stories we've come up with the Revolution and the different things.
I'm pretty sure I did a review on this actually.
Did you?
I think I know.
You probably played it with Game Boy Geek.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then, but what was the game that I wanted that they were giving out?
Well, the other 2 games, there was 2 more games that you could get because the Dixons brought their whole family, and so they got
all the games.
There was Arena, I think it was Arena of the Gods, which was actually a bigger box game. It's still a smaller box, but like that. And then the other one was an expansion of Sheriffs of Nottingham, which would be cool, but realistically, our Sheriffs have been kind of replaced with Guardian's Call, so I don't see me going back to Sheriffs anytime soon.
Yeah, Kabuki Kid, I don't know why they have twin beds in hotels. Like, that makes absolutely no sense at all. Like,
at least queens, yeah. If I can afford a queen at home, you guys should have one.
Majority of people are staying with at least 2 people per room. Like, it makes no sense. Like, you're seeing half of our room. We have another half of the room like this size.
There's
like,
3 doors. There's 3 different doors to this room. 2 of them are
so
side
ridiculous.
rooms. But this is an executive room. It was meant to have like meetings and stuff in. That's why there's like a couch and a bar with a sink and everything and a refrigerator. So it's nice, but we're gonna spend most of our time down in the convention.
What
anyways.
were the other 2 games? I'm sorry.
Arena of the Gods, I think, was the other one.
Oh, that was the
that
one
was
that I
the
wanted to
bigger
check
one.
out, yeah.
And then there was an expansion for Sheriffs of Nottingham.
Oh, and yeah, the Merry Men expansion for Sheriffs of Nottingham, which was cool. But it was nice. I didn't realize we were going to get, like, a game as well in there.
I didn't think we were going to get anything, to be honest.
And then we got the pin.
Yeah, the pin's actually pretty sweet. There's 2 different versions of the pin. There's, like, a basic one, and then there's the one that you can't pick up. It says Dice Tower West. It's got the fabulous Las Vegas sign going across it.
This is the nice one right here, guys.
And then we got some dice. Got some blue and red dice. It's like they knew our colors. So some blue and red dice. This is the kind of the basic generic logo.
Yeah.
Dice Tower West.
Daniel Zaya says, yeah, first world problems. Thanks. Thanks. Our bed is too small. Our bed is too small.
Today's International Women's Day, and it's also Wingspan release day for retail.
Oh, yeah. The Wingspan release thing was crazy. We can probably talk about that more at the end because we're doing coverage first.
Okay.
And then the vendors that were here and stuff like that were... Let me get the vendor list and stuff. I know we hung out at Lucky Duck Games for a while because we got to play Ganymede.
That was good.
Which, guys, Ganymede is a super fast, like... engine building game.
Yeah, it's kind of in that Gizmos range, but probably a little bit more complex.
Super beautiful art on it. Like,
yeah, I liked Ganymede.
I feel like Lucky Duck started like here and then like has just gone up with their games, and like I'm really happy to see what they come out with in the future. We were talking a little bit with them, and some of the different Chronicles of Crime sets that they have kind of like not in production, but that they're planning and stuff like that is really, really exciting.
Yeah, we got a little
super
sneak
excited
peek
to
into
see
some
about
of the themes that are coming out, and it's going to be something you would never expect.
Right.
So very good, very good. There's at least 3 more coming out.
So many good things. I'm so excited about that. Like
Lucky Duck.
Yeah, and then Wingspan sold out like 3 months ago. Yeah, well they released another 5,000 copies or something like that to distributors who
oversold the idea that they would have more than they really did. So the retail stores overpromised, and it happens. I've seen it happen many times with Magic the Gathering, especially with the special sets. It sucks if you pre-ordered. I can definitely understand that, but I mean they're already working on the third printing of that game, so it will come. It'll just take time.
It'll take time, yeah, guys.
He's
Sorry.
He's subject to his own popularity. Like he's too good. It's too good.
you can watch his or check out his. He wrote a whole article about it.
Yeah, he did.
Guys.
So if you have questions about it, definitely, or if people are complaining about it, direct them there. Jamie Stegmeyer is, he's just honest. He's like, I underestimated. I apologize. This is a little bit behind the scenes stuff, and it's actually really good information.
Do we know how many tickets were sold for Dice Tower West?
I think someone said 1,500-ish.
1,500?
Something like that. I know they sold out right away. When we first got tickets, she got a ticket right away, and then she went to go input my information, and it was sold out. So we had to wait till the second wave to make sure I could even come, because almost didn't happen.
There's my mouse. Yeah, Wingspan is that good, so yeah, it's worth the wait. I agree, 100%. And in the meantime, you can get super awesome meeples from Meeple Source, which are like these little wooden pieces that are all themed and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that we
like
saw
little cutout
here.
caterpillars and berries and grain.
We also saw an upgrade where the little cubes for Wingspan were actually little tiny birdhouses and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god. Like, this is going to be the most decked out game in my collection.
I think Meeple Source has like $125 for upgrades.
It's crazy.
All the upgrades for Wingspan. So you'll spend like $50 on the game, and then it's like $125 for upgrades for it.
But so the big names that are here and stuff, we have like Arcane Wonders, Bezier Games. We had, let's see here, 524 Labs.
Well, we got to check out Skybound's new setup.
Yeah, so Skybound has a beautiful new setup, guys. Like,
they definitely upgraded their con presence, which
obviously
we know.
It looks like so good. We'll have to take pictures and show you guys because like
they have
like this booth that scrolls around in like this like little kind of U shape and stuff. I was like, guys, you guys are looking amazing right now. Like, out of all of the booths that we saw here today, theirs was like the best looking one that they had out there. But we also had like Roxley out here, so we have lots of Dice Throne stuff and everything.
Oh yeah, Dice Throne is right across from Skybound right now. Talk about like my two dreams coming together. I could just sit there and be like, playing.
Back and forth
I could
between the
play
two.
Dice Throne, and then someone's like, "Man, I really wish I knew how to something to fear game worked." I'd be like, "Hold on a minute," run over there like Adam Conover who ruins everything. I'm like, actually.
Oh my gosh, the bird meeples are $90 if you want them all. That is insane, Kabuki Kid. I can't believe that. Oh my gosh.
If we were making Kabuki Kid money, maybe. I don't know.
But we also have like Cosmos. We have, of course, like I said, Lucky Duck Games and stuff. There was a decent amount of people here. Stronghold Games, Thing 12 Games.
Well, what's the best thing is probably all the different Kickstarters that are here. Like, we're getting to check out a bunch of different Kickstarters, which obviously is important to us and important to you
I don't know
guys.
if you guys can read that.
We're getting probably not. We're getting hands-on experience with some of these Kickstarters. We're gonna play Kickstarter with a Thing 1-2 Games. We're gonna
Thing 12, yeah.
We're gonna do another one with another group that was like Get in My Belly was another game we're gonna be taking a look at here pretty soon.
There's all
Dinos
sorts
Not Assembled.
You know what?
Kingdom Rush. Lucky Duck Games has Kingdom Rush coming out. We should be able to see that
Which
today.
should have miniatures and stuff in it. They're saying that they're gonna do like not a whole bunch of miniatures, but it will be a partially miniaturized game where you're gonna have lots of little miniature pieces and stuff like that, which is exciting. That's a new thing for them.
Area 1851, I believe, which is like Aliens Wild West type of game.
Little card game and stuff that they're kind of.
So,
they went from a board game that didn't sell or that they didn't.
They printed it. And
they printed it and then but it didn't go over as well. And then they were like, all right, how can we do this better?
Wanted to, just like anything else, he just came back to it, kind of like they did with Euphoria. Came back to it and streamlined it.
And then made it
more
better,
just cards. Yeah. But it looks interesting. Favorite 2 or 3 so far? Gosh, as far as what we played, we got to play Smartphone Inc., which was really good.
We got to play
some
hard to find games.
With Smartphone Inc., when you get the directions explained to you, like I think it took 30 minutes, and I was just about to pass out. Like I was going to die. I think
some of that's like also.
It's a lot of upfront knowledge, but when you actually play, it's super simple, and I didn't completely lose, so there's that. That was good.
I think some of that, though, is the person explaining it to you because there's so many places to put cubes on the board for that, like...
You almost want to, like, show people, like, have them do a demo round of just pretend and then be like, okay,
now this is how it goes. Because there's so much, like, iconography and stuff like that you need to know before you put things on the board and where things go that, like... It can be confusing because in one round there's like 8 different steps or something like that you go through for that game. So, like, Smartphone Inc. has the most hipster.
Oh yeah, it does.
Cover.
It does. It is super hipster. Like I was looking at it, I'm like, I actually think I work with that guy.
Oh, that is hilarious. That's super.
What makes it better is it comes from Russia too. So like, I'm just picturing there's a bunch of like Russian hipsters running around like that. I don't know, like that would be just amazing.
It was a really good game. And then what was the tile laying game that we?
Majorica, I want to say, which definitely check it out on Instagram.
Blue something games.
Blue Magpie Games.
Blue Magpie Games.
So that's I want to say from Asia.
Yeah, we have a picture of that actually.
Yeah, definitely check it out on Instagram.
Yeah,
because we both posted pictures of it, of the title, because we want to make sure. I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's one of those games like, you know,
you don't know if you're actually pronouncing it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. You're just like you're guessing. I'm not the best with names that aren't American. I just guess if it's not in English, and even then I mess those up too.
But yeah, that was good. That was a good one.
What would you say your favorite 2 or 3 games that we've seen so far have been though? Because like I know I want to play Diogenics really bad. That's at the hot
Dinogenics is another hot game that's at the tables, and that is like a Dinosaur Islands-esque game that but you're actually building the dinosaurs being encaptured and stuff on this little board that's like has little inlays on it and stuff, and so you're putting your little fences down. You put your little dinosaurs in there, and it's like it's so freaking cute. And they can get all angry and break out and stuff.
I was gonna say there's so much cool references. Like we were watching people play it, and first thing I said is like, "Oh no, I don't have enough food," and I was like, "Oh no, it's okay. You have tourists, so any park visitor can technically always be converted into food for your dinosaurs."
That's always nice, guys, right?
So and then Underwater Cities is another hot game that's there. The one where you're like actually building underwater and stuff. You got little bubbles where you have to build your city underwater.
Oh yeah, that was really cute. And that was like kids. What?
No, you're thinking.
Oh, I'm thinking about the other one.
Never
mind.
Laguna Sea or.
Yeah. But here's the cool thing: is that they made it so on Thursday and Friday, you have the majority of Kickstarter previews. So like, if you look at their like little list here for Thursday and Friday, the majority of these time slots here are where you can just go and look at Kickstarter previews for things, which was really nice because you can hit up a whole bunch of different Kickstarters, I feel like.
Yeah, and then like yesterday they had the Wits and Wagers thing that they did, and then I think it's tonight they're doing a top 10. So there's some stuff, and then people the dice tower contributors are doing a little bit of game demos and stuff too, so you can kind of
so you can come and play
out.
with your favorite Dice Tower contributor and stuff like that, which is nice. So you go.
It's a very intimate convention.
Yes, that's a perfect word for it. A very intimate convention, which is nice. Let's see here. Indeed, feed your people. That's hilarious. Well, yeah, I mean, you can feed dinosaurs anything. I mean, come on, like,
hey, if T-Rex
they
is hungry,
break out and
them.
they eat a few people, like, that's cool.
Let's be real. You're running a dinosaur park, right? You're in it for the money. If you lose a few people to the T-Rex, other people are going to show up. It's like a haunted house. You might get more visitors because of the air of danger. It's like an extreme sport now coming to your park.
Hey, Michael, thank you for joining us, and Robert. So, yeah, I can't wait to see you guys, Michael, at Arizona Game Fair. That's at the end of the month. We'll be there for the weekend. So, like, I think it starts kind of like Friday-ish, where you can pick up your badges and go to, like, a Friday night pre-party, and then, like, Saturday and Sunday on that.
So, Daniel, as far as coming next year I would say it's more in the venue of a smaller BGG. Where if you're coming to play mostly games, and if you want to see Dice Tower contributors and talk to them personally, it's probably a good place to go. It's not going to be as wild as a PAX, or it doesn't have that the whole hotel is taken over like BGG has, where you're like the whole hotel is board games. People playing board games in the lobby, in the hallways, like on the floor, in the elevators.
Like that. There's plenty of space for everybody.
There's a casino in the middle of this, so. And then there's, like buffets and everything. I mean, this is Vegas. So everything is a big, huge, just like you're in a giant strip mall inside your hotel. There's all these different stores in here and everything. Selling random things like crystals and funny underwear.
A giant strip mall, yeah.
Yeah, there's a liquor store. You can get tattoos. Actually, I think directly underneath us,
you go get your board game tattoos, and then you go you get some drinks, then you get, no wait, maybe you should do that the other way. Board game tattoos, you get your drinks, and then you can go game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how that works. Next up on our live show are board game tattoos that we got in Vegas.
So if you're coming to play games or to just kind of schmooze with Dice Tower people, I think it's definitely a good convention to go to. But the vendor hall is small compared to the other ones I've been to. Obviously, it doesn't compare to a PAX. Even BGG has the 2 vendor halls. I'd say it's about the size of half of one of the vendor halls at BGG. So if you're coming from vendors, you're not going to see as many. But
there's still a decent amount.
There's some kind of coziness to that. So like if it's an easy trip for us, it's like a 45-minute plane ride, so it's probably worth it on that alone. But yeah, I mean that's kind of my opinion on it. I haven't I've enjoyed it so far. It's my first Dice Tower convention I've been to. I'm interested to see what other ones are like. It's probably their smallest one, I would imagine, besides like their retreats and maybe the cruises.
Yeah, but I was talking to Tom, and he's like, we plan on Dice Tower West getting really big and moving it to a different hotel and stuff, and getting bigger and stuff, because
that'll make a big difference.
He says that when we specifically talked about this yesterday, he said that there's so few board game conventions that are big board game conventions in the West, that he's hoping that this will get a very, very large draw, especially with the Dice Tower name on it and stuff. And he really likes Vegas here and stuff like that. He likes the venue, and he says there's just so much room to expand here like that. And I personally have the feeling that they just really like having this and then Gamma right next to it, so then they can just like be in the state and then like go to Gamma and like just do everything here. Because I know they landed super early, and then like I'm assuming they're not going to leave until after Gamma at some point.
I think the one advantage of Vegas, like you said, there's not a lot of big West Coast stuff. West Coast gaming is a little bit smaller than East Coast gaming. There's less people, we're more spread out, so it makes sense. There's not a lot of big ones. The ease of Vegas is that there's something for almost everyone, and it's easy to get to. Plane tickets are relatively cheap to get to Vegas.
Yeah.
And then, like, for example, the Dickersons, Greg, he brought his whole family. They were playing some games. They hung out in the hotel. They went to the pool at one point.
There's so much to
They're
do.
going to a magic show tonight. That's here at the hotel, I think. So there's a lot of different things you can do. You can explore, go out. You can go out to eat. There's all kinds of stuff for the dairy impaired, like myself. You can get all kinds of different food options. We went inside a Benihana that was a Benihana, a separate sushi joint, and then another place, all in one, that had like pagodas and like hanging lanterns and a waterfall, like, and all kinds of craziness. So it's kind of lush.
Robert, although this is Dice Tower West's first year here, they actually took over this convention from MeepleCon. And I believe if you were still counting this as a MeepleCon, it would be like their 5th year. Yeah. So MeepleCon started as a very small convention, and I don't think I heard about that one until maybe 3 years ago. So it was a little bit smaller, intimate convention and stuff, and they had went to it in their 3rd year and went to it the year after that, and then this 5th year they're like, oh, you know what, let's just brand this dice tower, we'll take it over, and they're just going to try to make a really big thing out of it. So I'm going to say, Daniel, like, if you want to go to a big dice tower convention, like, this is going to be the one probably to go to, because the venue, there's so much to do here. They can move to a bigger location, and I have the feeling that this one in particular is going to get very big because
Plus,
of that.
Daniel, you know you can always go out to eat with us because we eat the same
That's
stuff
right.
as you, and then hashtag see the glories. That's a reason.
Hashtag see the glory.
This is one that I can see us.
That's the new hashtag.
I can see us coming to this one just solely based off of how easy it is to get to. I mean, it was 45 minutes.
It was easy, and you know, I feel like we're always going over to the East Coast, or I mean, just like in that region over there.
Or
it
Seattle,
takes so long.
or
it's just so much nicer to have a big convention here, because I can't. Other than Arizona Game Fair and going to that, which Arizona Game Fair is doing really decent, and they're starting to get big.
There's Phoenix Comic Fest, but that's
that's different. It's like a comic convention plus, you know, some board games on the side. It's not the same thing. You know, you're not having like the special guests and stuff like that, and the special things. I mean, the only thing that compares really is going to be like the PAX.
PAX West.
On the PAX West on this side, which is still up in Seattle.
But
it's pretty far north.
That's far enough up that that's a little bit
that
of
we
a
still
flight.
have a little bit bigger flight. And then the Arizona Game Fair is the only ones that I can really think of. Other than that, it's like comic conventions with games on top of them, you know?
Yeah, and then the Arizona Game Fair, they're having out like Vitala Sarda's coming out.
Yeah, so the Arizona Game Fair is specific enough that they're able to bring out designers, they're able to do specific board
Suzanne's
game panels
going to that one
and
too,
stuff
isn't
like
she?
that. Yeah,
So.
absolutely. There's a bunch of people going.
I'm going no matter
Michael
what.
Wright is going from Unfiltered Gamer.
Yeah, I was just say like
there's
I'm going to be honest. I haven't paid that much attention to who's going to Arizona Game Fair because it's like a 15-minute drive from our house, so we're going to go no matter what. Really.
Well, yeah, and we got like the Maple Games guy, and like, I mean, you can go over to their website and check out the really cool stuff that they have going on there. Aw, you're so sweet, Daniel. We're always happy to see you too.
Nerdfest 2019.
All right, so as far as their game library goes, though, how do you feel about their game library? Because they didn't bring their
normal
Dice Tower game library here. It's like the MeepleCon game library, so it is smaller.
The biggest thing, because I'm going to compare it to, you know, BGG. BGG was, well, hold on. I'm just going to compare it. BGG's library in Texas is like a huge room, and they have multiple copies of stuff. This one, I feel like multiple copies of the hot games, like 3 or 4 of the hot games. But for the most part, stuff like Raccoon Tycoon, like one copy. One copy of this, one copy of Zokin, one copy of, like, the games you want to play, there's like a copy of. There isn't a lot. It was a smaller one. It's probably like double the size of our own personal collection. That's about it. So it's not
it
like
wasn't
it's
super
expensive.
huge, but at least they did go ahead and take a look at the hotness
And
that's
brought some
out right now and made sure to get extra copies of those so people could play those, you know, and then had some really interesting games out at the hot games table, because that was a big draw for me. Like, when I went over to the hot game, I looked at their library and I was like, oh, okay, I can, you know, give or take some games, whatever, you know, like maybe we can play something out of here. But I've played a lot of these. But whenever I went over to the hot games table, I was like, oh my goodness, what is all of this? Like, this is what I want to play right here.
Yeah, I think honestly, if you took the board game collection that Game Boy Geek has, which is not super big,
people don't know the size of Game Boy Geek's game collection.
You take Hooked on Geek's library and you take our library, and if we were to mash it together,
I don't know if they're going to know Hooked on Geek's library either. Like, we only know that because we've seen it in person. Nobody else has like pictures of that.
Greg Dickerson takes pictures of his like shelves all the time. So, for example, if you took those 3 libraries together, I think it would be about the same size of this library here easily. I feel like.
Yeah. But there's a lot of really awesome people here, you know, that you can see.
Yeah, we've seen everybody.
Yeah, they had a ton of people here, and
Mark Stree,
so many
Robert,
contributors. Yeah.
We ate tacos adjacent to who was eating tacos. It was not Z. No, it was Z. Yeah, Z was eating tacos at the same place we were at when we were there.
Oh, really? I didn't even see that.
Yeah, we ran into Tom a lot because of the whole hat thing. You know,
yeah,
he's easy to spot.
he's such a tall guy. Like, when I talk to him, I'm like, hey Tom, what's up?
Yeah.
Like, because I'm so short comparatively.
Yeah, everyone's there everywhere. You put Suzanne, Mandy.
Right.
I mean, there's just a bunch of. I mean, a lot of the Dice Tower
and there's something to be
there.
said about a smaller convention because, and I talked a little bit about that with Arizona Game Fair, is the fact that you get more one-on-one time with people. So as the convention grows, yeah, it's going to get big and everything, but while it's still in a like small to medium range, like you have so much interaction with people. You know, I got to talk to so many people yesterday and play so many games with just people that were there and stuff, which was a lot of fun. You know?
Yeah, we met a lot of really nice people. We because somebody like taught us smartphone, and then we learned that same thing with the tile game, the Majorica, I believe it's called.
Yeah,
Majorica, something like that. Somebody taught us that one, and we got to talk to people that have watched the show and were interested in what we were doing next and what games we were playing, and it was a lot of fun. Like, I really enjoyed it so far.
And as far as like people from the Dice Tower Network, they had the brothers Murph, Suzanne, Parkinson, Abby, Tom, Crystal, Sam, Kenny, Eric, Z, Jason, Mandy, Robert, Roy, and Netters.
Hung out with Roy.
Like, yeah. So I mean, you had a bunch of people that came out.
And Rondo was down here too, but he was working for...
Rondo was down here.
He's working...
I already said Mark Street.
He's working a booth.
What else? I mean, there's just like a ton of people out here. I feel like there's actually quite a few contributors as far as just like in the board game.
A lot of
community.
Arizona's here representing. We got Maple Lady, us, Hooked on Geek. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of Arizona here. Plus, we ran into a bunch of people from Arizona that just came to play games too because it is cheap.
I mean, Arizona's so close, you know. I mean, I would imagine like people from California and Arizona would hit that up first with that, you know.
Yeah, people from Texas. Well, it's good. It's good. The West Coast is getting something a little bit bigger.
Right.
I'm a fan.
So, I remember talking to Tom about helping out with the West Library to bring flavor to it. Yeah, it needed if it didn't have like that cool hot games and stuff like that, and like what is it, the Quacks and Quellenberg and stuff like that, like the ones that you want to play that you don't always get to see out all the time. I don't know how excited I would have been for the game library, like if they didn't have those ones, you know, because a lot of those other ones we've already played, you know.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we gotta play the hot stuff.
You still get to play with a bunch of people though, and that's always cool.
And there's enough vendors that we can play games with vendors too, which is, you know, since we have similar personalities, we like talking to the vendors and actually getting to play with people that produce the game, manufacture the game, people that design the game. We've already played some prototypes with Skybound this week already, and it's
and the prototypes. This is a good place to play prototypes as well, because if you guys think about it, you have games that are just about in that pre-production, or you know, that people are going to be bringing to GAMA and stuff like that, and just, you know, before Origins, whenever they're going to be like announcing stuff and everything. So some of these games are still in testing, and you get to try those out before they actually get to our Origins. Hey, this is what we have out, and then your Gen Con. Hey, this is what you can pick up, which is really nice. So that portion of it was really cool because we were getting to play some really cool looking prototypes.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy the prototype Skybound's working on right now. It's good. It's like a 15, 30-ish minute game. I think it's supposed to be more like around 15, and we're gonna buy it. It's good.
Oh, the little card one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
don't
one
say
was
too
really
much
good.
About it because, you know, make sure everything's good.
Yeah, the little card one was really good.
We got to pick up Gansham Clever.
That's right.
Which I have never played, but she has played it a lot.
on my phone a ton.
I can't tell you how many times I've come into the studio and she's playing that game instead of editing.
Yikes.
But I'm excited to play it.
And what else? What else has been going on? Jeez.
There's a lot. I mean, we've only been here a day, like 24 hours.
Yeah, it's only been 24 hours, and I feel like we've done so much already, you know. And then what other cool stuff do they have going on? So they had the like Wits and Wagers competition and stuff like that, which I think was last night and stuff. So they're not just doing, hey, here's the con floor, you know, it's open 24 hours and stuff, and here's the vendors, but they're also doing events as well. They're going to do a live event, I think, later today, where they're going to talk about top 10 with the 3, and they're going to do, what else?
Well, so what Kabuki's saying is, I think it is still Cult of the New friendly, because they do have hot games tables, they have games that people were demoing, and then the vendors have new stuff and everything. I think the big thing is, I guess I was just used to having multiple copies of a game, so that like there'd be multiple copies in the library, so most people have it. So for example, last night, the game that I finished out my night with at like 2 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the morning was The Estates. And as soon as we finished, another contributor came over and was like, "Hey, are you done with that? Is this your copy? Like, this is the only copy in the library. Like, can we play this?" And to me, like, Estates doesn't seem that new because we picked that up at BGG and it's been out for a little while before that.
Yeah,
and,
we played it before that.
There's only like one copy of it. I think though that if they expand the amount of people that they're going to bring into it and they open up ticket sales like they did for this one, that they'll have to just bring more games.
I think they're going to put a lot of effort into making this one big, guys. So I would definitely put it on my list for conventions to start checking out in the future and stuff, you know, and to go to, really, you know. What else? We had, okay, so they're doing a flea market. I don't know if they're going to do a math trade. It doesn't look like there's a math trade. But they have some tournaments going on. They have, like, the Blood Rage tournament. Roxley's going to be doing a Dice Throne tournament.
What?
They have an Ice Cool championship. I know they're doing, like,
that.
pitch card tournament and stuff like that. So, some of them you get where they're like, well, like, you know, Gen Con and Origins, you're there mostly to go and see, like, the vendors. And, of course, this is like, hey, you're mostly here to hang out and play games.
Right. But it's been easy to find people. I mean, we still ended up getting in Majorlica, Fine Sand from, like I said, from
Sand from Stronghold.
Yep, yeah. Played Fine Sand, Ganymede, Smartphone Inc., The Estates. I think if I was to say, like, my favorite two out of those, for me personally, would probably be Ganymede and then maybe Smartphone would probably be my favorite ones. I mean, I'm not counting The Estates because we already own that. We've played it a bunch.
Kabuki
already.
Kid, I 100% agree. The West Coast did really need a good con. Like, I'm super excited. We'll probably be going to this.
What was your favorite game as far as what we've already played? Was it the Majorca or was it Ganymede?
I really liked that Majorca tile laying game because for me, Azul is like, actually, I'm not a big fan of Azul because I feel like it's very simple and there's just like not a lot to it. I felt like it was like overly hyped. And Majorca like gives me the interaction that I wanted with like the engine building with all your tiles and then like trying to creatively like take them from that center piece, the center tiles, and like trying to cut people off and stuff and like interacting with that center board and then like engine building on your own board with a sort of like cute little tile laying game. And the tiles in that game look like actual tiles. Like they, from just far away, I went up and I was like, oh my god, did they put like actual tiles in this game? And I picked it up and I was like, oh my gosh, these are like glossed over like cardboard pieces or something like that are like super glossy with like a little bit of a beveled edge on it, you know? So it actually looked like a tile, but it was like a cardboard piece. Like that was ingenious with that game because it was such a draw and it's a really cute little abstract looking game, but there was so much game to that. I left that going, I want this game right now, and then I was like, I cannot obtain this game. Where can I get it? Like, if anybody knows how to get that game, let me know, and I'm gonna get it from there. Like, just drop it in the links and stuff like that because I really freaking want that game.
Yeah, I'm all about Ganymede right now. I think that's the one I want to pick up.
And then Ganymede was just... You
can't get smartphones, so there's no point even looking at it.
Yeah, exactly. You can't get smartphones. That was a nice one, but I'm not going to pay $150 for it, you know? But Ganymede was such a...
We also played the tournament...
one.
We played Tournament of Towers also. I don't think I even
Oh,
logged
yeah,
that one.
the Tournament of Towers one.
From Iron Hippo Games, I want to say.
Yeah.
That was interesting. It's definitely like you've got pieces that you're building up. And
a junkyard style game, which you're getting these giant pieces and you're trying to build them, but here's the interesting thing with that.
You get some really garbage pieces to build with.
Well...
Because you got your gold pieces that are worth points.
You're not trying to get the tallest tower.
Well, there is points for getting the tallest tower.
Yeah,
but
that's not the majority of the points.
It's for how many... So you draft, and it's however many gold things you can get are worth points. And then if you have the highest tower, you get points for that. And then if you've got your little architect at the very, very top, or noble, or whatever it is, then you can get more points. And he's a gold piece also. The thing that was kind of interesting about it is that you're drafting cards to get your pieces. And so you're drafting stuff like springs, eggs, little chalice cups, a big U, like a cage, kind of like a box square cage, an X. There's a lot of different pieces. And we got pictures up of that too. I did like a boomerang or two of that on Instagram, I believe, or on Facebook.
Well,
the only thing, I think my only drawback on that one was just the overall sticker price of it. It was priced out of the family game market, I think, at $80 retail. I think that's kind of out of that.
Well, that's tough because there's so many giant pieces in that game. It just costs more to make those type of games.
I get it. I just think it's priced out of, like, I'm not going to get that for our kid at $80.
Yeah, well, I don't like dexterity games a whole lot, so
I thought it was fun.
that was the only thing for me, you know, like I'm not super dexterity heavy with things. Like there's only particular dexterity games that I really like. But I mean, it was still good. I feel like it was better than Junk Art because it had like I liked the fact of it being more strategic.
You had some mulligans and stuff.
Having stuff
and,
in there as opposed to
build.
just build the tallest tower sort of stuff, you know? Like I don't know.
I thought it wasn't a bad. Like I said, I would play it again.
Yeah.
For sure. Where
Yeah.
there's other ones that I wouldn't play. So yeah, but you know what? Realistically, we need to get off here and go play more games.
That's true.
So we got stuff to talk about tomorrow.
That's very true. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys. We appreciate it. Hopefully our internet connection was excellent. Hopefully our sound was excellent. I brought some equipment and stuff, and I had to like super crazy fix everything before this, so hopefully it all went over well.
True. We've got 2 lamps on their side.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy rigged up in here. All the things you can't see behind the scenes.
We're pressed up against the glass window for light. All kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, Kabuki Kid. So
got a camera on top of a couch cushion.
I'm a highly strategic gamer, so if the game is not strategic enough for me or doesn't have like enough thought put into it, like I lose interest too fast.
You're
it's
medium.
Too fast.
You're usually a medium to heavy.
To heavy, yeah.
Where I can be light to medium.
Which
with heavy,
that's
as long as
tough.
it's got good theme.
That's tough because there's a lot of really popular games out there, like King of Tokyo and stuff like that people really love. That I'm just like, that King of Tokyo is not for me, guys, because, and I know like a ton of people really love that game, but it's just not strategic enough. It's rolling dice. So, and I'm sorry, it's rolling dice, guys. That's all it is.
No.
And I know people are like, oh my god, the cards, but no, it's rolling dice, guys.
She doesn't win it very often. Just gonna say.
This is why I'm a strategic gamer, so I don't have to combat the dice, okay? That's how
In
that
general,
works.
dice are usually a no-go for her for the most part. I'm okay with dice. I'm willing to risk it. I mean, I did get married.
Well. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We will talk to you guys later. And have a great weekend. You know, we'll see you next week. We will be talking about lots of good Kickstarters. We have Paladins of the West Kingdom. We have Thrive.
Is Awari on the list?
Awari's on the list.
Oh yeah, we got some good ones.
There's like another one in there.
There's a bunch of coin ones, like the fantasy coin ones. There's some like
they have a bunch of really good stuff
D&D coin ones for D&D class characters.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good things out right now. And there's this thing called Critical Role. I don't know if you guys have seen that Kickstarter. Probably haven't heard about it.
I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of Critical Role at this point. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.